Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? How's it going? My cameras fell down. Been doing some Pokemon videos earlier with Mason. Hello. We're just going to wait for the live to populate. How is everybody doing? We've had a few requests tonight to talk about Poltergeists, time slips, and apparitions from Stella. So hopefully Stella will be joining us tonight, and then we can discuss those. Good evening, Smack. Hello, Bimble with Bruce. How are you doing? Hope you've all had a good week so far. The Easter weekend is coming up. I know a lot of you don't celebrate Easter, but some of you obviously celebrate eating the chocolate, which is cool. Hello, Badger. Hello, D. What have you been up to? Have you been at work today, everybody? You doing all right? More importantly, how are you and how's your week going? I'm good. I'm good. Obviously working quite a lot. It's a pain in the ass, but you've got to pay the bills. Yeah. Other than that, we're all right. I think we're getting a visitor on Friday. Tracy, who's not in at the moment, which is Raven, is coming down to meet Tony and I and the moderators. So, well, the whole moderators, should I say. So it's all cool. It's going to be good. So I know, as I just said, we've had a request to talk about poltergeist, time slips, and apparitions. Obviously, that was from Stella last week. She asked me to make a list and was wondering if we could all discuss it. So I suppose any of those topics, anybody had any kind of experiences with those? Poltergeist, time slips, or apparitions? Hello, Babsy. How are you? Hello, Amanda. Cupcake, how are you doing? I saw that you've obviously left a message on the Pokemon channel, the Pokemon card channel, saying you just started collecting again. Excellent. So yeah, Mason wanted to do his own channel, but obviously he's only 8. So I said I'd help him do it. I'm kind of looking after it for him. So we're on there opening Pokemon cards, which are cool. I was surprised how many there is. I couldn't believe it. How many different ones there is. I was never into Pokemon as a kid. In fact, I think they only came out in the night. Was it the mid-90s, 95, something like that? Might stand corrected. No worries, Badger. So yeah. Yeah, we'll have to trade some cards sometime. I'm surprised how much they are worth. I couldn't believe it. As soon as you buy them, they're an investment. Well, certain ones are, if you manage to get them. So I have had, as I was saying earlier, we're going to have a bit of a chat about poltergeists, time slips, and apparitions. I've not really had much to do with time slips. That really sounds like something more of a movie to me, to be honest, but we can chat about it. But poltergeist activity, I certainly can talk about that. Anybody else had any run-ins in with, I'll say, poltergeist energy? I'll put it like that rather than poltergeist ghosts. Being a paranormal investigator is something I've actually researched and experimented with myself. Families would start to comment on our earlier social media platforms, and we'd go around visiting claims of poltergeist activity. Raven's in. Here's Tracy. How are you doing, Tracy? You're going on your first ghost hunt next month at a supposedly haunted jail built in 1849. Which jail is that, Smack? So, yeah, Raven is being very brave this week. She's popping down to our neck of the woods to kind of catch up with everybody, to meet Tony and I and the Hull moderators. Very brave. Them Hull mods. That's all I'll say. I'm sure you've been warned already by Tony. Only weird thing that happened to me when I was a kid, it was always when I was in bed. Every time I closed my eyes, my bed would shake. I'm not even sure if it was my imagination or... D, was that, as a kid, was that round about 12 years old? Roughly, give or take. Lisa, hello. How are you doing? Chester County, South Carolina, USA. Right, okay. I don't know why I was thinking you was from the UK then. I don't know why I thought that. Cool. You have to get some videos put up and share the links. I think you're in the Discord channel. Mike's not going to be on tonight to share the Discord channel. He has smashed his phone or dropped his phone or something. Yeah, Raven, we are good. I'm just playing with one of these things. Have you seen these things? It's so much time to pop them out. Gotta keep my fingers still. You sound like cornbread here in the south. Cornbread. Is that anywhere near Gettysburg? I haven't got a clue about the states. I'm sorry. I might be miles off. I'm saying that because Tony and I, it was going to be a place we visited to film. If we ever went over to the States, it was going to be that area. Don't know which is part of America it's in. My geography on America is terrible. Like the shape. All right, okay. You sound like the shape. He sounds like this. Because he wears a mask, obviously. Hello, Matt. Good evening. So, those of you that are on a desktop, if you look at the chat, there should be some form of circle with some maybe emojis or icon things in. Mine have gone invisible at the minute, but they're still working when I'm just clicking down there. Just keep clicking it. Keep clicking it. We're trying to get a bit more, a few more people over to the site to join in the chats and stuff. Rachel, good evening, Rachel. Rachel, the other moderator, is in. She has put the link into Discord. If anybody's not in it, click on it and get in it. There's loads of weird chat going on in there. Everything from paranormal to cooking to even there's people in gun clubs and all sorts that are sharing things in there. Some cool stuff. So yeah, back in when I formed PSI in 2005, I would get a lot of emails back then. And that is roughly, I think, when I started my Facebook channel. Oh, yeah, definitely Bimble with Bruce. There's some good people on Discord. It is a safe spot. We like everybody to get on in there. You know, if there's any issues on the Discord, just message one of the moderators or myself or Tony or Mike. Mike's nearly always on there when his phone isn't broke. And we'll sort that out for you. Yeah, so in 2005, when I formed PSI, we originally started as I did it with my brother, my younger brother Chris, who he doesn't do it with us anymore, but he's obviously still got those interests. And we went around to people's houses but it wasn't so much about investigating the paranormal. It was more about people with um, like a- abilities, if that's the right word, like sixth senses or psychic gifts or some things like that. Because I was brought up with that kind of thing all my life, and I was in that circle of people as well, where I was always the weird one out. So we used to go around homes, and that's what PSI was designed for, to help people with these um, natural gifts, if you like. But it very quickly turned into an investigating team. It pretty much had to, because for every house we went to, that there was claiming they had a ghost or poltergeist. Um, the first place you went was plagued by poltergeist activity. Things would often move around behind your back, says Ian. Cool. Whereabouts was that, Ian? So, yeah, from 2005, I started researching poltergeist activity very deeply, and I involved lots of different families. Um, we was in the newspapers, on the local radio. We even got on TV on one of the news channels for this area, not a full national one, but just this area. Um, was invited onto that. People were obviously with poltergeist activity. I've lost track where I'm going now. And the research started, and it's been ongoing, to be fair, for the last 18 and 19 years. Um, but it was always with females, never males. Um, I don't know if that's because men or young kids, boys, don't report it to the parents, or they just don't talk about it. They just think, oh, it's nothing. Oh, thank you so much, Tracy. That is awesome. Brilliant. We'll give you a big high five when we see you on Friday. It's very generous. Thank you. So we was there to help these families. Obviously, my brother hasn't been researching the paranormal like I have from being very young. So he was kind of, do I like to put it, my assistant, my lackey. But yeah, it was nearly always females. In fact, it was always females, either young girls, or there was like three categories. It was women going through change, young girls going through puberty, or girls that had gone through some sort of trauma in their life, like an accident, they've lost a loved one, and that there's just something about women and poltergeist activity, or should I say females. Um, I don't mind saying, I think women have got more about the brain than men have. I really do think that. And we've tested it through these home investigations, as well as when we used to do the public events. Um, the Lambar video on this channel, if you have a look for it, Haunted Lambar, it's called. There's a few of them. That was part of one of the experiments. We would tell them the story of the lime bar, and it was a true story. Nothing was fake, nothing was made up, and it had collapsed. And I think that was in the 1800s. It obviously wasn't a bar then, killing 24 people or 22, something like that. And there was a couple of children. The building just collapsed. It was like a sugar mill, and it fell into the street and killed people, including a few small children. It was kind of rebuilt, but it was still there. It was not very well known, to be fair, and I think it was Tina who found it as a location for us to investigate, and we did the research on the history and found all this out. So we would tell the story of what had happened, and it was always females. And when I left them to go in the basement, there was like groups of, I think on the video, there's a group of 4 females. All hell is kicking off, poltergeist activity. I believe, and this is a theory, so don't take this as the gospel, this is my theory. The energy women create, especially women, in stressful situations, can create this type of energy. It can happen with men, but with men it's normally fear. We've discovered with men we can create similar things if it's fear, but with women it's fear as well. But their mind is wired up different to a man's brain, to be fair. What do you mean, how do you name? I prefer Rosa as well, Babs. Yes. Am I saying women are more crazy than men? No, I'm not. I'm not. To be fair, I am actually saying women are, I would say they're actually cleverer than men. And that's just through experience. I'm not saying men are thick either by that. I'm just think that women are wired different, but I think I don't suppose you've noticed as well, women have got a higher tolerance to pain than we have as well. A commercial photo studio, boxes of black and white paper would move from work surfaces to storage shelf print, jumping from chemical tray to chemical tray. Right, that's cool. Guess you could say with my blood sugar when I was 14. I could be classed as traumatic to sleep in traction every night. All right. So that obviously it is young. It is around that age as well, where you're becoming a woman. I don't want to go too much into that, but you creating that energy. To be fair, George, good evening. 12 watching and 3 likes. What's wrong with you guys? Exactly. I don't know. If you're on a desktop, if you look down there, the chat box somewhere, I think there's some emojis. Just click them. If you're on a mobile phone, I think, do you just tap the screen? I don't know. I ain't got a clue. So yeah, poltergeist activity, one of my theories is it is man or slash woman made. We create that energy. It's not an actual haunting as such. It is an energy manifested by us. Rachel's put the Discord link up if anybody wants to join. I don't want to be in your head, D. I don't want to be in anybody's head, to be fair. My emojis have gone invisible. I don't know why. So yeah, every time you hear a story or see a story on the news, or very rarely the news in the UK, isn't it? But about poltergeist activity, there's always a reason. There's always something, in my opinion, that creates poltergeist activity. And like I said, I'd say 98% of it is female. Rachel's saying, "Oh my God, Tina, you're actually doing your mod job. Are you feeling okay?" Callum, good evening, sir. How are you doing? In men to create that energy, it's very difficult for Tony and I to do it now because we've been doing this for so long. When you're out on an investigation or a ghost hunt or whatever you're doing, or even in a spooky place, get yourself scared, get yourself worked up, and you do create this weird energy from fear, and that manifests things to happen as well. We have obviously researched it and put this to theory. We have actually done it. Sort of poltergeist activity. Yeah, our theory is the energy created comes from us, not the dead. Don't forget to hit that like button. Who are you seeing on Friday? Oh, you seen Tina on Friday? I'm good, Callum. Yeah, thank you. Tina thought she better do something because Mike isn't on. Yeah, I mean, it was Stella that asked us to talk about this, but I don't know where she is tonight. I think another thing she asked us to talk about was time slips. It's one thing I don't have much experience in is time slips, but that's simply because I don't even know if I've experienced one. Has anybody else? There's been a time where I may have done a few times. You know, when you're driving, especially if I'm at work, you set off driving and then you're at your destination and you think, how did I get here? I I've done that a few times. I don't remember the journey in between. That's happened to me a few times. Could that come under that topic, that subject? I don't know. Has that ever happened to anybody else? Mike's slacking, so you've got to do your jobs now, Rachel. Time slip. You don't know what it is. Exactly. That's the only kind of thing I can put it down to. Lost time. Has that ever anybody else get that? We used to call that back in the day automatic pilot when we was driving, where you set off, then you're at your destination and you can't remember the journey in between. You think, how the hell did I get here? You've done that years ago as a test. You went for a walk one night and got myself into a state thinking I was being chased. It is crazy how the mind alters Bimble with Bruce. Yeah, definitely is. Your mind will play tricks on you. I think it is actually designed to do that because the one thing we carry from our ancestors in our ancestral DNA from whatever period it is, the caveman period, Neanderthal, is it? There's that fight or flight moment where we have to have that, or we had to have that, because when we lived in caves, you had like a fire either near the front of the cave or slightly in the middle, and you had to be at the back of the cave and so you could see the front of the cave. So you had to have that fear kind of imprinted in us, and it's never left us, I don't think. There you go. That's another theory. That's a good theory, isn't it? It was an odd place. I used to see an older gentleman standing in the main studio space. Receptionist would see a pair of legs. That is weird, Ian. What a shame you've got. Obviously, you don't think to film it at the time, do you? But that's cool. Well, it's cool for us. But at the time, I suppose it was pretty freaky. They say a good scare burns calories. I've never seen an apparition, nor do I think I ever somehow died of jump scares watching horror movies. Yeah, I've only ever seen apparition maybe 2 or 3 times in all my life. I've seen things, obviously, what we've caught on camera, but at the time, in person, I've there's a few examples I could give you. Yeah, the only thing is, a good scare burns calories. It can also give you a heart attack. You've got to be careful if you suffer with blood pressure. You don't need to be getting stressed in that kind of environment. I like a daydreaming. Could be 1 p.m. Then suddenly a few hours have gone. Yeah, yeah. So I try to get a walk in every night. I've missed it tonight because we had quite a lot going on. Only a mile. I only do a mile every night. I try, and obviously, as you get older, you've got to do something, haven't you? As you're putting the world to rights, as you're doing your jog or your walk, before you know it, you're back, and you think, where did all that time go? I think that is that kind of thing. I mean, Stella's not here to kind of elaborate what she meant by a time slip, but they're the only things I can think of. 34 years back. At my age, I should be doing at least 3 miles. That, yeah, very cheeky, Rachel. Well, if you think of it and you add it up through the week, I mean, because we go out on the weekends, it's at least 5 miles a week, so it's not too bad. I mean, I'm doing all that lifting at work. So, Brant, hello, Brant. Tony's in. When I used to work, oh, Tony, while you're here listening, Stella asked us to talk last week about time slips. I've given a few examples what I think. Can you go a bit more into detail about time slips, Tony? I'm not that brushed up on time slips, to be honest. I'm more about investigating. But Tony is like a walking encyclopedia. He'll know stuff like that. When I used to work, I would have been a time that I would have wished for a time slip. Yeah, I'm like that every day. Just don't want to go to work. When I'm there, I just want to come home. I think everybody's like that. But there is some people that do like the job, to be honest. Maybe because it's not the job I should be in. It's just the job I'm doing to pay the bills. Yeah, weird. Apparitions as well. I mean, I was going to give you an example. As some of you may know, Tony and I, both of us, are Freemasons. And we would fall under the category of being master masons, which means I think I was there a bit longer than Tony, because obviously I put Tony forward to join. I saw something in the Masonic Lodge, and that sticks with me. Between they have like degrees, first, second, and third degree. Between the degrees, if you're not a master mason, you have to leave the lodge room while they do a third degree thing. If you're a second, do you know what I mean? So when I was a second, I had to leave at one point and just wait outside while I did certain parts of the meeting. And then I'd come back in. I was brought back in. As I left, or as they opened the door for me to leave, I saw the back of somebody walking into a room. We used to call it the robing room, where we got changed into our regalia, the Masonic regalia. I was following this bloke. I followed him. And as we got through the doors, he just disappeared. And as I got through the door, I thought, where's he got? And I went through the back, nobody there. So that is an apparition. That's the difference between that and poltergeist activity. Also, you've got the stone tape theory, where the surrounding materials kind of hold energy, kind of like a tape recorder. You know, like a tape recorder used to press record your sound. Certain material, like the brickwork, could hold that type of energy because it's got like minute crystals in it. This isn't my theory. This is quite a lot of people's, including Richard Felix. So we had a chat with about it. So these little crystals in the brickwork store energy like a tape recording. It could have been that. It could have been residual energy, what is known as residual. But it's still kind of an apparition. It's completely different to poltergeist activity, which is created, a theory, what we believe, from the living by their energy. Traumatic energy, mainly. Tony's saying time slip. Are you talking about time slips? It does seem to be more common in mediumistic circles. Medium in Hesel who experience these, they see in the past almost through layers. I get you. I get you now. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. I had a few of them experiences, to be fair, when I was younger, and I was doing a lot in mediumship and development psychic circles, and I had the same thing happen when I was walking down a specific street. I could see what it used to look like, but it wasn't. I wouldn't have called it a time slip. I would have just called it I could just see it, just like an image. It's not necessarily traveling in time or backwards or anything. Apparent. Seen figures in castles, one patrolling on top of the keep. These places I found out are blocked off. A concrete wall was constructed to seal it off. Oh, cool. What castle is that, Bimble with Bruce? Guys, tap away on the icons at the side. I can't see my emojis, but I'm just clicking them. Discord. Oh, Rachel's put the Discord link up to the Discord group. Barbara the Alien, good evening. How are you? Bolsover Castle. Where's that? We was invited a while back to a castle. Somebody caught an apparition, and it was a really good capture, to be fair. I thought it looked really good. It wasn't faked. I couldn't see any traces of trickery or CGI or anything. But it was too far for us to go, so we ended up not going. Kind of regret that a little bit. Because doing an investigation at a castle anywhere, to be honest, it is one what's on our list to do. I think I joined Discord, I'd be banned. I have a weird sense of humor. Matt, that is what it's all about. You want to see some of the messages in there, and that's from the moderators. It's friendly. It's a friendly group. It's peach juice, by the way. We keep getting flagged. People keep reporting the videos for smoking and drinking, which we don't. Yeah, Matt, you'll fit right in, as Tony says. It'll be cool. Go join it. I think when you think about it, poltergeist activity, like I'm saying, in the 90s was very popular in the UK. It kind of fits around a time when these type of movies were coming out at the cinemas, and back then it was Blockbuster video stores, wasn't it? And things like that. There was all the poltergeist movies, so everybody had a poltergeist. I think that's got a lot to do with it as well, all these sightings back then, because we don't have as many cases of poltergeist activity now. Oh, it's in Derbyshire. All right. We went to Derby once because we went to Derby jail to meet Richard Felix, and there was only Tony and myself there in the full jail with him for about an hour and a half. And we investigated that when he left. He just gave us the keys to the jail. Said, there you go, lads. Once you're done, just post the keys through the letterbox. So we did. Signed us a couple of books and things. Debs, good evening. Is it near you, Tracy? Are they allowing investigation to take place? That'd be cool to get a castle in this year. You stayed there when they've done reenactments. Oh yeah, I forgot. Bruce, you do all those kind of things. I was saying to Tony tonight, I said, that looks real cool. I'd love to put all the gear on and have a fight with somebody. Yeah, Tony, he's a lovely guy. Richard Felix is a top bloke. He just brought a new book out, and he was keen to sell us one. So we got a couple. He signed them for us. Yeah, it was cool. The bunker says there's no scientific evidence for the stone tape theory. I completely disagree. In my view, it's almost stone tape fact. Callum, you know, these debunkers, they're getting worse. And to be fair, all good investigators know how to debunk, but they do it correctly. If you see a post what's just recently gone up by Danny Moss from My Haunted Hotel, there's a lot of problems with debunkers at the minute. It's bringing a bit of bad negativity to the field, which isn't right. I think if you're debunking, I do think there's room for debunkers, because all good investigators are debunkers anyway. But there's just debunkers that don't investigate, and they've got no experience in the field, and they've got no kind of knowledge anyway. They've never done it. Do you know what I mean? But they should remain unbiased. They shouldn't. What a lot of them have started doing is not only debunking, but kind of it's more of like an attack, and that's wrong. It shouldn't be like that. It should be do the debunk, stay neutral, and then leave it at that. But a lot of their debunking work is just their take on it, and I know that because we've done and we'd still do debunking work when we have to. It's just right. How did they do this? There's lots of different ways a faked video can be done, and that their video, what they're bringing out, is just one way of doing it. Like I said, and like Danny Moss has said as well, without being there, to investigate it, you can't say it. You can't. Their video isn't proof; it's just a theory. To be fair, because when you're on the job, there's a lot of factors you've got to factor in. It's not just a case of looking at a video and say, "Oh yeah, that's bollocks." It's not like that. You've got to investigate it basically, and this is where it stops with them, because they don't have that experience of investigating. And like I said, I think they should remain unbiased. They shouldn't take it further than their theory of a debunk. I was just going to say, during the film periods of certain films, everyone saw more Bigfoots or poltergeists. When E.T. came out, there was more alien sightings. It's always around movies. I know there was a lot going on. What was just coming out? Like The Exorcist, when that first came out. People were getting possessed all up and down, mainly America, to be honest. But a lot of that was happening. I think they've got a big part to play in all these alleged hauntings. I used to do it and was fun. I love staying in banners, castles, etc., including going places the public couldn't. Got to give it up due to injuries. Sorry to hear about that, Bruce. Tony's saying armchair debunkers are little bitches. I think some are all right, but like I said, our friend Jeff from Boo Productions, Paranormal Toledo, he's over the last 2 or 3 months been debunking, and he kind of stays neutral with it, and I think that's the way it should go. Yeah, there's always arguing with them, Callum. Trying to stay away from debunking. We do it if people say, "Look, this is going on," and people are happy with us, like looking at it and seeing how it's done. If we can, then we do, and we'll even turn up at the location to investigate it. No, people don't learn, Callum. Tony's saying when Enter the Dragon is shown on TV, it really fills the dojos. To be fair, I mean, Bruce Lee's what got me started when I was 12 doing martial arts. We all wanted to do it at school. Obviously, he'd been dead a while, but the films were in all the cinemas. It was brilliant. But I've got a question, or more of a theory, another theory of mine. Wax on, wax off. Karate Kid, yeah, we used to love them as kids. There is a new series on Netflix, and it's got is it Daniel LaRusso and the other guy when he was kids fighting, and it's called Cobra Kai, I think. And I couldn't watch it. I started watching it. It's rubbish. I just couldn't get into it. It's pants. So here's a theory: possession, right? Which is very rare anyway. And that's even if you can prove that it's possession. Is it just a state of mental being? You know what I mean by that? The thing is, we get involved in some cases, and the ones in America, it's more in America, and I'm not picking on Americans, by the way. They seem to have a lot more demonic cases than anywhere else in the world. Um, and you think, well, why? Why is it more in the States than it is anywhere else? And I know the States is a big place. Paint the fence. What? Cock and hooky? Is that a move you've just made up, Tony? I know on social media at the minute, a lot of content creators are putting the word demon, demonic this, demon stole my baby, or demon stole my whatever, virginity. It's all about demons in America. I want to know why. A chicken head block. So, I mean, without going into any kind of big detail, we was asked to look at a case. Well, the ones we've taken part in, our cases and other cases, we've watched videotape, and we've kind of come to the conclusion there's been some kind of mental illness, kind of mixed with medications. What people are on, medications have got a lot to answer for, because certain medications can make you hallucinate. If you're taking several different medications, you see all kinds of things. Sometimes one medication doesn't agree with the other. Yeah, it's a belief system in America. You're on the fence with possession. I'd like to think it's real, but it could be split personality or something else. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying, Bruce. There probably is more some cases in the UK what we just don't hear about, but they get locked up, they get put in a padded cell. I don't know. I don't know. Everywhere America, probably ancient Indian burial grounds and land. Well, I don't know, D. You've got to think about it. Like in England, our history kind of goes back further than theirs. Back then, the Americans, maybe not the American Indian, but England has got a lot of ancient things around. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and you are right there. The Bible Belt in America, everything will be demons. It'd be demonic. Because I know the Bible Belt it's big over there, isn't it? The very kind of focus people just on that. They don't have the culture. They're still learning to a degree, says Brant Tony. So you've lived in America all your life, never heard or knew anyone who said anything about possession or demons. It's maybe because obviously Tony and I are investigators and we're researchers and people contact us for help that we hear a lot more about it than maybe some of you guys. But I can't remember a case in the UK. I really can't. It's being America. Could a demon cause mental health and physical health? Yeah, Callum, it probably could if it could be proven that it was happening. It would. You've got your various stages before possession, haven't you? What kind of mess your head up and your health and everything. I know there's some good cases on YouTube. We should take a look. Probably not one what's not so well known as the film what The Exorcist was based on. I know The Exorcist was like a young girl, but that was based on it was actually a young boy. Is it Annalise Michaels as well? There's videos on that of her actually the photographs of her and her speaking, and it is a creepy bit of footage. Sage the kangaroo, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. He was probably here last week and I forgot. England is steeped in myths and legends too. The King Arthur mythology is getting lost in time too. Yeah. Bruce, where do you think Camelot was? I know they're saying, is it Tintagel? Am I saying that right? Your YouTube is unusable tonight. Have a great stream, everyone. Love to you all. Cool. Catch you later, Matt. Thanks for coming. I know it's a shame Stella's not here. I know there's supposed to be several sites where they're saying the Camelot was. I think another one is it Cadbury Castle? That's meant to be one of the alleged sites. So we've got Raven coming on Friday, not here, but I think Tony's going to pick her up from the station. It's the Easter weekend, and Tracy, who's Raven, is going to be meeting the mods and us guys. So we're going to have it's going to be cool, and we're going to hopefully get Tracy involved in either an experiment or, now this is just a no, we don't have to do this. Some kind of mini investigation somewhere. That'd be cool. Yes, happy Easter to you as well, Sage. You've got a feeling it's the border between South Wales and England due to the dragons, etc. But it could be wrong. No, it's a good theory, if you like. It's good. I know there's meant to be lots of places. Nobody, I don't think they're quite 100% sure, are they? They did find that grave once, and it's alleged to have Arthur in it. And when they opened it up, still had the hair on the, not say body, but there's not much left, and it kind of just disintegrated when they tried to move it. Tintagel, yeah, I thought it was Mid Wales. There's loads of them. Yeah. So I will be at church on Sunday because I am a Christian, believe it or not, even though I'm a paranormal investigator. Um, so it is. We're going to church, not the one there. As we've found another church, to be honest. What's a lot better for Mason because they've got a massive play area with all kinds of different things, slides and tree houses and things inside it. It's really cool. So have a good Easter, or if you're not religious, have a good chocolate day. No, we was waiting for. We haven't. Well, when I say we, I haven't really got us a location to go to at the minute. This is one in summertime I'm talking about because we was waiting to hear back from to investigate. They was asking us to investigate with them in Manchester, and they just haven't got back to us, even though we spoke to them since. So we are now looking for another location. So, like I say, this castle could be good. Yeah, I will, Callum. Thank you. On a good day, you can see Cadbury Castle from Glastonbury. Cool. I know Cadbury Castle was a good candidate, wasn't it, for the site of Camelot? But again, I suppose it's proven it, and the only way to maybe do that is historically. But do they have those records? I don't know. Guys, before we go, I've got a quick little experiment to try with you. We've done this before. People that used to do it, we've lost a few people due to whatever reason. So we'll do it now. You all know what the Xena cards are, and for those of you that don't know what Xena cards are, where have you been? So Xena cards are what they use in kind of psychic testing sort of things. That if you can see them. So I'm just going to do a quick one before we go. Cross, circle, star, wavy lines, and a square. So there's 5 different ones, but there's a deck of 5, obviously, of each. So I just want to test you guys. I know people have said to me, don't do the Xena cards because it gets boring. This is just a quick one, just before we go. So I'm going to pick one out of the deck. These are what these look: square, star, circle, cross, wavy lines. Don't worry about the colours, just the shapes. I'm going to mix them up and see if I can transmit this down the internet to you guys. Oh, they're guessing already. I haven't even picked one yet. So there's wavy lines, a square, a star, circle, and a cross. So I've picked one, and I don't think you can see that in my glasses. I'm transmitting that thought down the internet. Guys, what is this card? This is kind of training what we did in psychic development to try and get you guys to exercise that sixth sense, if you like. To be fair, it's not that difficult, is it? Because there's only 5, and if like 10 of you guess and look what each other's put. One of you is going to get it right. So yeah, somebody has got it. This probably just a guess because these only 5. No, it was actually D. D got it. It was the star. And I know people were getting really good at this last time when we used to do it. So I started using a proper deck of cards, so it was a bit more difficult because doing it like this is very, very easy, especially if there's a list of people typing up different things. One of you is going to get it. So D, the prize you have won is you get to brag about being the most psychic in the chat tonight. Yeah, so I'm not staying on long tonight because I'm up early for work tomorrow. But if you guys are on TikTok, those of you that are, Tony runs the PSI TikTok channel. And I believe tomorrow he is on. He will correct me if he isn't. Generally around, who knows with Tony? It depends if he's fallen asleep after work. 8:30 maybe. And he's doing small tarot readings. By that I mean 3-card readings. He normally does that on a Thursday. So get a free tarot reading from Tony if you go over to the TikTok channel PSI Paranormal. Bragging rights, D, definitely. Till next time, anyway. I'm hopefully over the Easter holidays, I'm going to try and get out to do a live somewhere. I know we've got Tracy with us though, so I don't obviously want to push that on Tracy. So we'll see what we're doing. If not, it could just be the PSI method, the experiment we do. See you all on Discord, exactly. Which channel is legit on YouTube to watch? You see, what I watch might be different to what you guys want to watch. I know a lot of guys are in it for entertainment, and we're not. We're classed as, people think we're boring, but that's what paranormal investigating really is. It is a bit boring, unless it's your thing. I can't say I watch other people because I don't. Only when people are asking me to look at a bit of footage to see if it's genuine. YouTube channels do it for views and clicks because it's like a wage to get paid from the adverts, as well as you guys donating to them. For us, it's about the experiments and trying to prove or disprove paranormal activity. We're just documenting it, and that's the difference. So I don't watch the Ouija brothers. Other people do. I know what they're like. They're kind of ghost hunty types. I don't know. I couldn't comment on that. Yeah, Tracy, if you're up for it, just going out for a little. It won't be far. It'll only be like, a 10-minute drive from where we live, so it's not even far. It is interesting with Bruce. Paranormal activity is very rare, and I keep trying to tell people this. To witness paranormal activity is brilliant because it doesn't happen like it does on these YouTube videos. We've only experienced it a handful of times, and when you do, it's brilliant. It's worth it. It's worth the 9-hour drive. Like I said before, we've done maybe a 9 or 10-hour investigation to get one EVP, one sound recording with a voice. That's all we got. We was happy because we got that. So, just remember what you watch. It's for entertainment, unless they're specifying that they are investigators and it's an investigation. One of the closest ones, what I would say, go and watch, only because I know them. I would go and watch. I mean, go watch everybody else's channel that's on here. Have a look. But one what's kind of in the limelight a bit is I'd go watch My Haunted Hotel. because I know Danny thinks a lot like we do. He tries to debunk pretty much everything, and they have had a bit of bad feedback of people saying that they're faking it. But we was there, and we witnessed things what we couldn't explain, and this was when they'd left the building as well. So, you know, if you go over there, just say PSI sent you. They're not as thorough, I wouldn't say, as we are, because obviously they have people around and they're in like a control room with radios and they're watching on screens, but they're directing people upstairs to go in different rooms. But you just go watch it and see for yourself. It's up to you. But search the Lamb House. Some crazy, eerie footage in there. Go have a look. For those of you that are into Pokemon, my kids have just set up a channel. I'll have to mention it. In fact, I'll type it into the live chat if I can remember what it's called. So if you type in the search on YouTube at Pokemon Cards Reveal, I manage that for them. They're just starting out. It'd be cool if you're into it, just to just support that and click the like somewhere or subscribe or whatever you want to do. That'd make their day. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for coming. We do appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you Friday, Tracy. Twin Paranormal. No, entertainment. That's all that is. You're trying to wind me up, aren't you? No, they are entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but I can't watch them. They're just great on me. I just can't. I know you're kidding. You're winding me up. I can't recommend anybody because I don't really watch them. I just stay involved with hours uploading and editing and things. This is FBS. Bimble with George. You'll have to put some of your videos up on the Discord or even on your YouTube channel with these reenactments. That'd be cool to watch. Thanks for coming, guys. I will see you, or we will see you, maybe even put a live on at some point before Sunday. Yeah, thank you, Raven. We do appreciate it. We will see you on Friday, Tracy. Yeah. That's worse than a terrible B movie. It's aimed at younger people, to be fair. Twin Paranormal and Sam and Colby. That it's just for a younger audience. It's just entertainment, and that's just look at it like that. If you want to have a laugh, watch it. I can't sit and watch them, to be fair, but I don't know. It's for the brainwashed. Yep, maybe. It's not my type of thing, and I'm into the paranormal, but I can't watch them. Thanks for coming. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Have a good Easter weekend. See you soon.